Hey everyone, welcome back to Checkmate with Blake. As promised, today I have a special video for you all. Today we're going to be making a free Reti Masterclass Part 2. Now, before we get into this video, I do want to go ahead and say if you have not seen the first Reti Masterclass video, which is posted on my channel, I think you should go watch that one first, because in that video, which of course I'll go ahead and briefly say, the Reti of course is this move knight f3. In that video, I cover how to play as white if black plays d5, e5, c5, bring either of the knights out, or fianchettos either of the bishops. So if you go ahead and just stop and look at this position, obviously this is almost every move that black can play. Furthermore, I even show if they play the move, which is the most common move, d5, I show how to play if they go in, more specific lines, such as taking here or pushing. And so that video really aims to cover all of these lines. And the purpose of this video is to go into more advanced theory, show lines I did not cover, and show some of the most best ways that black can play and how to beat those as well. So this is like an extended Reti Masterclass video. This has more advanced lines, more deep analysis, and also way more brilliant moves and traps that I did miss in the first video. So if you haven't seen that first video, go ahead and stop what you're doing. Go watch that video first and then come back to this if you'd like. And if you are here, if you're a subscriber or supporter, I should say, of my channel, and you've seen that first video from 3 months ago, which was basically the start of my YouTube channel. If you've seen it and you're here today watching the extended masterclass, go ahead and leave a comment below. Thank you guys so much for your support. Let me know that you're here from that first video, so I know who my true day ones are. But without any further ado, we'll get right into this video. And again, if you haven't hit that subscribe button, hit that subscribe button. It really helps the channel grow. Leave comments on what you guys want to see. If you have any questions about this video, leave a comment, of course, and I will answer those, and I will try and make some more videos. This video, a lot of the content in this video actually does come from questions that you all left in the first Reti Masterclass video. So as always, I do look at your all's comments. I do try to make videos that you guys want to see. And before we jump right into it, I do want to remind you guys why we're playing the Reti. So if you play the Reti, and if you haven't seen that first video, I'm gonna, this might sound like a duplicate if you have seen it, but if you haven't seen it, the reason we play the Reti, the reason I recommend the Reti, and the reason a lot of my subscribers do play it, is that the Reti is a very flexible opening. As I briefly said earlier, it is, you can play it against all of these main responses. It is a very, very flexible opening. What's even more important about the Reti is that it also allows you to have a dynamic attacking game. So if you're a chess player who likes to play a dynamic attacking game, the Reti is perfect for you. So that first video does cover most of the things that you need to know about the Reti, but this video will solidify your knowledge, and it has multiple brilliant moves. We have multiple I'm about to show you. Of course, everything in this video is going to be is going to go after the move d5. But there are some crazy traps I want you guys to see. So one of my subscribers, he had a comment. He said, well, what do you do after they take the pawn, we play e3, and then they play this move bishop e6? Now, bishop e6 is one of the top engine moves, although I'm not sure if it does say it. Yeah, here it is. So it's one of the top engine moves. I think once the engine thinks longer, it doesn't like it as much, but bishop e6 is a common move you might find. We play the move knight g5. Knight g5 is designed to just remove this bishop, because if we remove the bishop, obviously we will win this pawn. Likewise, black doesn't want to, since we're obviously threatening to take their bishop and win the pawn back, they obviously don't want to just move it somewhere like here, because then we'll just win the pawn. So what was the point of bishop e6? The point of bishop e6 was obviously to defend the c4 pawn. So black most likely will play this move bishop d5 to try and hold this pawn. You're going to play e4, attacking this bishop, and now we're at a crossroads if you're playing black. Because if they go back, obviously we will take it, and after they take back, we will win the pawn. Likewise, if they go here, if they play bishop c6, we're going to take it. We're going to be up material as well, so that, obviously we're completely happy here. We're up in development, and we control the center. And I will go back to this line and show in just a second. So, but to the untrained eye, there is a move here that does actually, it's a great move for black, which is actually this move e6, because you're actually attacking our knight. Even though the bishop's hanging, you're threatening, if we take the bishop, they're going to take our knight, which we're not going to do, because I'm going to give you guys the best moves. We play this move d4. Now, d4 is designed because it covers our knight, and we still are threatening to capture the bishop. Likewise, if they move away, we will go ahead and capture here, which is the best line. Now, if they en passant, you may notice that that's an option. We can take here, because now they cannot take our knight, because we would take with the bishop. So they cannot en passant. They have to move the bishop away. It's the only move. It's the only idea they can play. After they move the bishop away, we will take here. Bishop takes c4. And if you're familiar with the Alien Gambit, also leave a comment below. I want to know how many of you all know about the Alien Gambit. If you've seen it, let me know below, because we're going to play an idea very similar to the Alien Gambit. A lot of people don't like that this knight is here, and they will play this move h6. It's actually very, very common. And you're going to play a brilliant move here. You're going to sacrifice the knight. Knight takes e6. This is a crazy move, and I'm going to try and explain it. So knight takes e6. After they capture back, which is what they probably will do, I'm assuming you're taking the, you've attacked, you're attacking their queen, and you've completely destroyed their structures. So they're going to take back. You throw in this check, queen h5. Most likely they'll go here, but even if they play this move, if they go to either of these squares, you're going to play the same move. You're going to play d5. So first we'll cover if they go king e7. You play d5. You're attacking both pieces. Obviously, they will take here now, and you'll take back. Now, here you've kind of put black at a crossroads, because if they go ahead and move, their bishop, because their bishop's under attack, like they go somewhere like here, obviously look at the bar, they're getting checkmated. Just to give an explanation, if they were to go here, for example, because you may think that might be better, the whole reason they're getting checkmated is because you're going to sacrifice your pawn here. If they take this way, it's checkmate in 1. If they take this way, you throw in this bishop check, and after they go here, because if they went here, it'd be checkmate in 1. So they go here instead, it's still checkmate. So, but there is a way, if you're a more advanced player, that you might realize, well, I'm not going to move my bishop. I'm just going to go for this queen trade. I'm going to go queen e8. Queen e8 is obviously because if I take here, they're just going to take back with the bishop, and black's perfectly fine. But again, you're watching this video. We're going to show you how the best moves to play. So if they play queen e8, you're going to sacrifice your queen. It should say it's a brilliant move. Actually, the engine earlier actually said this was a brilliant move when I was preparing this video for you all. Because you're sacrificing your queen, but then you take back here, and you're actually going to get another queen and take the rook, and you're completely crushing. So that's how you play if they play this move bishop e6. Obviously, if they don't go into these lines, like I said earlier, so we'll go back a little bit. If they don't play this crazy move, pawn e6, let's just say they drop back, which is the most common, you're going to play here, and, if they take, you're in this position, you're actually just going to play d4. And you're actually going to leave your knight here. That's the key. Leave your knight here, bait them to playing h6, and then go for this nice, beautiful, brilliant sacrifice. So that's how you play if they do play bishop e6, is you just try to remove this bishop or kick it around the board. Now we're going to kind of get in the meat and potatoes of this video. We're going to go into some people in the comments, they pointed out how after we play this move d4 or c4, how when they push and we play this move e3, that black doesn't have to take. And those people who said that are correct. But I'm going to show you how to crush people who play this way. So most of the time they might actually play this move c5. That's the move I failed to mention in the first video, which is this is the real advanced theory. This is the stuff you're really going to find if you play the Reti, so especially if you're higher elo. So c5 is what you'll expect. And I like to play this tricky move, b4. b4 is the key idea here. Now, if they play this move b6, it says it's a miss, but it's only because it knows the move I'm about to play. Another brilliant move. This technically should be brilliant move number 3 because, sacrificing the queen should have counted, but whatever. You sacrifice the knight. Now, first of all, let me just cut back. Why did they play b6? They played b6 because we're threatening to take here, and if they could take back, now they just maintain a strong center. But by us sacrificing our knight here, I hope this makes sense. So let me just go back a little bit. We play this move because we want to break down their center. Let's just cover b4 first. We want to break down their center. If they were to play a random move, obviously we're going to take here, and then we're going to win this pawn. So our whole goal is to break down their center. I will cover e6 and other lines too, so bear with me. But this is an idea, instead of playing a random move like here, an idea is they might play this move b6, like I said, because they know that if we take, they're going to take back and maintain our center. But we're going to sacrifice our knight. Knight takes d4, another brilliant move. And this actually does relate to the first video. I had some ideas similar to this. If they take, you play queen f3. You may remember it from the first video. That now we're attacking the rook, and we're completely winning. We've already won the game, really. It says it's 0.83, but if you go play this, I think you'll win almost every single game if you get into this position, because you're going to win the rook already. I mean, you're already up the exchange. And if they throw an in-between move, like taking here, thinking, okay, well, you take there, I'm going to take here, you can't castle, you don't have to worry about it. Because after they take, just take back. You're still threatening the rook. They can't protect that rook. That rook is long gone. That rook is lost. I mean, you could say, of course, they can play this move, and it's true. They can go knight c6. After you take, they can throw in this block, and you go back. But you're still up a pawn. You're already winning. You already have these pieces out controlled. You're ready to play d4. You're ready to bring this bishop out here to b2. You're completely crushing. So there's another brilliant move to show. We'll go back. So now we'll kind of get into the more advanced lines. If they take here, c takes b4, you have a few ideas. You can actually take back with the pawn, which is what the engine recommends. I actually really like to take back with the knight, and just because I don't like to double my pawns, although this is perfectly fine. You can double your pawns, but you have good control. I like to take back with the knight, and if they ever play this move, such as e5 to attack the knight, bring the knight here to c2. You have a nice pocket here where you can now attack this pawn. And if they ever try to defend your pawn, that's fine. You'll go bishop b2, and you'll just develop. Now, this is why I said in the very beginning of the video, this is a reminder, we're playing a dynamic opening, right? So they may have put our pawn back here. But what you have in exchange for them wasting all these pawn moves is you have development. You have a bishop out here. You have a pawn here, and you have a knight in a better square. That's already looking at some important squares, like after we play the move d4. So remember the dynamic positioning. If you want to go even further with dynamic positioning, understand that we can actually play this move bishop b2 here, which the engine doesn't love, but I think you'll have a lot of success if you want to try it, where you actually gambit another pawn, and after they, for example, develop, you just play moves like d4, and you have a very strong center and two pieces developed, ready to bring the bishop out and castle. You have a very strong attacking game, all for the exchange of one pawn. So I'll let you all decide how you want to play that, whether you want to take here, whether you want to take either one of these ways or play bishop b2. I just want to, point out those options to you. And if we just kind of pause and think, why would we want to play this b4 move? Why would we want to sacrifice the pawn? Well, of course, we're sacrificing the pawn so that we can weaken this pawn and take it here. But really, what we're doing here is we're weakening, their center, and we're playing a dynamic game. We're forcing their pawns away from the center while we are developing our pieces and just getting a strong attack going. So we're kind of encouraging them to be greedy. Is the whole point of why we're playing into these lines. So that's what happens if they do take it. Likewise, if they were to take here first, you will take back the same way. And if they take here now, which is probably what you'll find, then you just play this move d4. And this is the whole point. If they go down this line with trying to play with c5, you're just going to have a very strong center. You're going to be well prepared to attack. Meanwhile, if you just flip the board from Black's perspective, it just seems like, this might be more obvious to you now, Black doesn't have a lot going on. Like, they have this overextended pawn that's going to be hard to hold, and they have no pieces developed. And White is just crushing. They're just developed, they're crushing. So that's why that we would go down these lines. But I do want to cover now, because someone else pointed out, they said, well, after this position right here, the best move is knight c6, and that is one of the best moves. So we will cover that as well. And you will still just play the move b4. That's my recommendation. And the reason I recommend this now is because if Black gets greedy and just says, okay, well, that's a free pawn, well, then you're going to go ahead and throw this check in. After the knight moves back, you'll take here. Notice we have a lot of pressure on this knight. And actually, it's completely even. Notice no one's up a pawn, and we have more pieces developed. After they go here, bishop d7 is the best move. You're going to take, they take back, and you just drop your queen to c2. Now, I like this position because, to me, White has more space. White's about to bring this bishop here. They're also about to play d4. And so, for example, after a random move like knight f6, you play d4. And I think that White has a great position here. I mean, the queen on c2 is perfectly placed. You're actually ready to bring this bishop out here. We'll just play some random moves just to kind of illustrate, some of this position. Let's just say something like this, and a random move here. Notice, like, once we move this pawn forward, how many pieces we're going to have looking at the king side. I mean, we're crushing. We can even, break open with moves like e4 at some point. So I think this position is very favorable for human play, if you're playing this yourself. So they cannot take this pawn first. Instead, they actually need to take here first. You will take back, and now, only now, will they take here. Throw in the same check. After they go back here now, play d4. And the reason behind d4 is because if they play a random move like g6, obviously you're going to go here and you're going to win this knight because it's pinned to the king. So instead, you force them to play this move bishop d7, and only now do I recommend playing queen b3, looking like you're going to take this pawn. Now, the reason I say looking like is because you actually can't take this pawn, just so you know. If, they develop knight f6, if you take the pawn, they bring the rook out. After you move the queen to the only safe square, they will play this move, threatening a fork and your queen. But most players will not know this tactic. So most players here in this position, I will bet most players will actually play this move b6 to try and hold this pawn. And now you're already winning. You have a great advantage. Go ahead and develop this bishop. You have no problems. Again, if we look at it from black's perspective, black is like very crammed and white has all the space, a very dynamic, strong position. So I won't go too in depth even further with this, but that's how I recommend to play if they do play the knight out. And actually, white's perfectly fine, and I actually really prefer white's position. As I said in the video, though, or said earlier, I will go back, and after this move c5, b4, I did say that they might play this move e6, and that's very true. They might play e6 to kind of hold, right? Because if we capture, which is a very, very playable move, I've actually played it, they'll take back here, and they will kind of hold. But I have no fear of this position. There's a lot of things you can play. Like, we'll just look at some of the top moves. You can take it. You can actually take either way. You can bring the queen out. Or I even like moves like this here, where you just develop this, bishop b2. Of course, it says it's a mistake. Again, this is kind of if you want to play dynamically. Of course, they can take here now, but it's the same idea. We're gonna actually get this pawn up the board, and we're gonna have a strong center. So you don't have to take that either. I mean, a move that I like to play that I think makes more sense, that I actually play more often, is actually this move bishop b2 now. It actually, interestingly enough, points out queen a4 is a top move. I don't usually play that. I usually play this move bishop b2, so I don't know much about queen a4, but bishop b2 is what I like to play. Of course, if they trade down, and we're going to take here, and if they take this way, again, like I said, you're just going to play d4, and you have a great position. Black really doesn't have a lot going on, and you have some very strong you have strong development and strong control of the center. So I would love to play this, and if you like to play the Reti, I think you'll find you'll find success in this as well. And the point behind bishop b2, of course, is if they ever relinquish pressure, then we're going to take here with the bishop. Likewise, if they play a random move, you're actually threatening now to actually take this. So because you have so many attackers. I mean, if they go here, notice you can already pick it up, or you could even consider trading this way, and after they take, you can still take, because obviously you have, more pieces than they do. So those are just some of the advanced Reti theory, concepts I wanted to talk about. As I said, this video had 3 brilliant moves, and it does cover how to play against some of the more practical and some of the best responses that black can play. So I hope you guys found this video pretty enjoyable. Again, leave a comment. Let me know that you were here from the very beginning. I want to know who my day one supporters are. And if you haven't seen the initial video, it's very important that you go watch the initial video, because this is the advanced theory. The advanced concepts that maybe weren't covered, or some tricky lines that weren't covered. But that first video you'll probably find to be more helpful. So go check that first video out if you haven't seen the first one. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed this video. It does really help a lot. It really does mean a lot to me as well. Thank you guys for watching. At the end of this video, I will attach again a link to the initial Reti video, and let me know what you guys want to see in the next video. Let me know what kind of content you all want to see, so that I can make content just for you all. Thank you guys for watching.